What's up, everybody? It's Robert, Rule of Two Review, and today it's finally time for more Call of Duty. Okay, so I know I'm a couple days behind on this topic. I'm sure at this point it's been a few days, and the internet, everyone and their mother probably on the internet and YouTube has made a video and written an article and talked about their opinions and all the news and stuff regarding the new Call of Duty. And you know what? That's just kind of the way it is. I move at my own pace. Things have been really busy in my life lately, so I'm only making a video every couple days. So this is finally my chance to be able to make a video and talk about the new Call of Duty. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare is the title. I'm sure you know this. Initially, what is now yesterday, May 4th, was the day that Activision was going to hold their official reveal for the new Call of Duty, which was going to be Advanced Warfare. And as you may or may not know, on Friday night, the trailer that they were going to show basically leaked on the internet, and it was freaking everywhere. From IGN to Game Trailers to GameSpot to smaller locations to everywhere on YouTube, it was all the hell over. Everyone was watching the new trailer. Kevin Spacey was revealed to be somebody in the game. They kind of are setting him up to be the antagonist, but in a few ways, I kind of think he might actually still be the protagonist, the good guy. So that's going to be interesting. But the thing is, his face had actually been leaked for a couple of days, even before Friday's leak of the trailer. So it's been really interesting to see how much they were not able to keep this under wraps. Something else I think is pretty cool is the general hype and buzz around the game is really, really positive, which is interesting because, yes, we know Call of Duty is the biggest and best-selling franchise in gaming right now, but because of that, it's also always under the most scrutiny, and the more popular something is, the bigger a target it becomes. So everyone, especially on the internet and the way gamers are nowadays, starts just lambasting it and crucifying it and making fun of it and making fun of the people who enjoy it and blah, blah, blah. All this stupid shit, and this is the way it is. However, with Advanced Warfare, people are reacting pretty well overall to it, and I think that that's really cool, and there's a couple of reasons I can think why. So basically, I kind of want to just talk about my feelings about the game, the new title, and Call of Duty as a whole, because I am actually a very big Call of Duty fan. And if you've been watching my videos, you've definitely seen a lot of Call of Duty footage. I've been playing a bunch of Ghosts since that came out, and I really, really like Ghosts. It's not the best Call of Duty, but it's good. I enjoy it. And you know, it's kind of considering the type of games that I tend to like and the type of gamer I am. A lot of people find it kind of surprising that I like Call of Duty as much as I do, but the thing with Call of Duty to me is basically the reason I like it is because it never pretends to be anything other than what it is. Activision, Infinity Ward, you know, the companies, Treyarch, all these companies behind these games, they've known for a long time exactly what Call of Duty is. They understand its identity. They know why gamers like it. They know how to make them what gamers want, at least for people who are fans. And that's all they do. They've never tried to be a bigger, bolder thing like, you know, EA does with Battlefield and other people do with things like Metro Last Light and Halo and whatnot. You know, also really great games. But with Call of Duty, I've just always taken it at the face value that the company takes it at when creating these games for us. That and the fact that I don't care what you say, if you're not a fan of Call of Duty, that is completely okay. But the actual facts are they're good games. They are mechanically sound, well-controlled, well-played, well-put-together games. They just freaking are. The graphics engine, is it outdated and has it been for a while? Yes, that is absolutely true. But you know what? That doesn't really make the game good or bad. How it controls, plays, and feels, and if it's fun, that makes it a good game. And it does all of those really well. So, you know, it doesn't pretend to be anything it isn't, and they're still really solidly made fun games. So that's basically why I like Call of Duty. And so when we look at what's going on with Advanced Warfare and people's positive reaction to it, and I'm going to tell you right now, my positive reaction to it, I think it's a really exciting time for the series and kind of for gaming just because of what Call of Duty means to the industry and gaming as a whole. So as has been the trend with the last few Call of Duties, you know, every time a new one has been coming out, people have been trying to hail it as like this new entry in the series that's finally going to change up the tired old formula and all this kind of good stuff. With these previous games, most notably Black Ops 2 and Ghosts, those are the games that people thought were really going to change things up. And even the first Black Ops. And I've liked all of those games, but they never really did do a lot to change everything. They were all these minor adjustments that really weren't changing the game. They were just adding small new things to the game as it already existed. I appreciate what Black Ops 2 tried to do, where they were teasing us with this idea of a futuristic kind of Call of Duty experience. And I was like, hell yeah, bring it on. That goes back to another piece of news I'm about to touch on in a moment. And while I actually really did like Black Ops 2, it didn't really have much of a futuristic feel to it. They didn't dedicate or commit to that vision very much at all. You have like a cool little wristwatch, and some of the scopes have like a thermal sensor, and that's like it. There's nothing really that cool and futuristic going on there. However, don't get me wrong, that didn't really hold the game back in and of itself from being a good game. As a Call of Duty fan, I liked Black Ops 2, so that's fine. Now, the idea of the future kind of experience, which leads into modern advanced warfare, is interesting because a couple of years ago, it was at the time fairly public information, but I think people might have forgotten about this. But a couple of years ago, Blizzard Activision did register a couple of trade names and domain names for different Call of Duty names that I thought was really interesting. And this would have been before Black Ops 2 came out. What did they do? Advanced Warfare was one of them. They did Secret Warfare, Future Warfare, and Space Warfare. So those last two got me really excited. I'm also a huge Halo fan, and I'm really excited for like Destiny and stuff like that. I am a science fiction, sci-fi, spacefaring junkie nerd. I love that stuff in my movies, in my television shows, my documentaries, and of course my games and my books and things like that. So the idea of taking a great series that I liked, Call of Duty, and taking it finally to the future, to space, I want those really awesome mechanics to be playing like in low gravity on the moon, on a moon base in like, 200 years and like a space station and cool shit like that. Like I thought that was a great concept and I got really excited, which is why Black Ops 2 did excite me. Then the future aspect let me down. So here we come to Advanced Warfare. Still not a super committed jump into a real futuristic kind of feel. However, everything in that trailer, which I'll link below for you to watch in case you haven't seen it, everything in that trailer is definitely saying, look, we're really trying to make some big steps forward and we want to make this a futuristic, different feeling kind of Call of Duty military shooter experience. And I think that that's really exciting. You've got active camouflage both on the suits that you're wearing as well as a lot of the ships, the enemy ships and these drone things that are flying around that definitely look like they're out of like Terminator or Demolition Man or something. Something you would never have seen in a previous Call of Duty game. The exoskeletons is something that people on the internet have been very vocal about. I think they are very cool. They kind of look like Isaac Clarke's sort of gear from, I can't remember what it was called, but his armor suit in like the Dead Space games. Or something from like Judge Dredd, and it's got all these like moving parts like a transformer, and it's really cool. These really hip visors that come down, this grenade that's thrown that adds this thermal effect over everything you're seeing because it works in tandem with your visor, just like some of the scopes work in tandem with your visor. Lots of future tech going on. These little gloves that are like right out of Mission Impossible 4 Ghost Protocol, where you just attach yourself to a surface like Spider-Man and crawl up it. So there's a lot of, and hover bikes. Like there's a lot of cool shit happening in this game that feels way more genuinely and legitimately in the future of future tech. And that I think is really cool. They've brought in Kevin Spacey to play this main character in the campaign. And the new trailer is specifically about the campaign. I think it looks great. I mean, it looks definitely fantastic. The story being told, fighting for the fate of democracy, and is he a good or a bad guy? And the team you work, I think the team is supposed to be called Atlas. I watched a video where they talked about that, and I think Atlas is who you're working for. Or maybe that's the enemy organization. I'm not sure, but they're somehow involved. And, we don't know to what capacity Kevin Spacey's character is going to be involved. But, I think they're really trying to nail home a really good, campaign, story mode campaign for the new Call of Duty. And that lends itself to a few different things. One is they've said this is going to be next gen first. So I think that's cool. It's going to be for the newer systems first and then the older systems later. I think it's only like a week difference, actually. So I don't think it's that significant, but we'll see. I mean, I think it's pretty cool. The trailer, it says this at the very beginning. I thought this was pretty interesting and cool. They say all the footage is captured on the Xbox One. And I mean, we're still at the point where, the graphics engine, even though it looks good, it still looks dated. Like whatever they're doing with the visuals for Call of Duty, I don't think they're ever going to just knock it out of the park and make it this new amazing thing we've never seen before. But that being said, it does still look good. It looks pretty. It does its job. It looks and feels like a Call of Duty only in the future. It looks a little next gen, so it's a neat showcase for the Xbox One. And it's, further strengthening Activision and Call of Duty as a franchise, their connection with Microsoft and the Xbox brand. So I think that's actually a very good thing for Microsoft to have right now because the Xbox is going through a heap of shit on the internet. So this is a good thing that's going to really work for them, I think, in the future. It's nice to see that continuing. So I guess we're going to kind of see where that goes from there. I have a lot of hope that this game is going to actually turn out to be the kind of futuristic Call of Duty experience that we really want and hope for, or at least the beginning of that. The other big thing here is that this is Sledgehammer's game. So that was news it goes back to a rumor a few years ago when Sledgehammer was going to help with a Call of Duty game. Then last year they announced Sledgehammer is officially still on Call of Duty. However, they're making their own game. So you've got 3 teams making Call of Duty games. Sledgehammer 1 year, Treyarch another year, Infinity Ward the other year. So that each game is now in a 3-year cycle instead of 2, because there's 3 teams and they each have to give the other 2 teams a year each to make their game. So it's like overkill, but at the same time, I think it's very smart and the right kind of change up for the Call of Duty formula. By the time we get to Infinity Ward's games in 3 years, I mean, it could be one of the most amazing next-gen Call of Duty experiences we've ever seen. It might not even be coming out for the last gen, to tell you the truth. So that's going to be really, really exciting. So this is Sledgehammer's first game. It's Advanced Warfare. You know, we went through the Modern Warfare stuff. I'll tell you right here and now, best campaign I had played is Modern Warfare 1. Best multiplayer I've ever played was Modern Warfare 2. So going, you know, taking that, you know, something warfare moniker, I hope that it really means the quality is going to be there. We're going to have to wait and get some more details and footage and, you know, ideas of what's going on with the multiplayer stuff. It'll be very cool to see if things like the hover bikes, the active camouflage, you know, these trick special future grenades and all these cool things are going to carry over into the multiplayer. Man, if they bring like vehicles into multiplayer for Call of Duty, I think that there is some potential for it to be just a mess and it's like quit trying to be Halo when you're not Halo. But I also think there's actually a huge potential for it to be great and really fun and this great new addition to the multiplayer component and really work on changing up the Call of Duty formula like everyone wants them to. I freely admit that I love Call of Duty and have loved most of them since the series started. But I also admit that, you know, I am waiting for that next really big change. So it's really cool to see some things happening here. How will this compare to Black Ops 2 as far as the future tech goes? I don't know, but like I said, it seems like they're way, way more going for the future vision and dedicating to that idea than Black Ops 2. So I think that the game is going to be great. I think that visually it looks good. I'm excited. I hope the Wii U version has great gamepad features. I think that the story and the campaign and Kevin Spacey's edition is going to be wonderful. And I want to believe that the multiplayer could finally be the brand new standard, the best Call of Duty standard for multiplayer we have seen yet. All right, guys. Well, that's it for the Call of Duty Advanced Warfare and Sledgehammer news for today. Pretty crazy stuff. You never know when these leaks are going to spring and all sorts of crazy shit and information is going to start coming at us. Of course, I want to pimp the Facebook page. I do have a Facebook page for Rule of 2 Review, and I've been getting a few more likes on that. So please follow the link below to that, as well as finding me on Twitter at Rule of 2 Review. And we're doing fun things, and I do contests and stuff on the Facebook page and post the videos. So please go and do that. Help support if you like what I'm doing, and if you also like Rule of 2 Review. And of course, if you do like Rule of 2 Review and you have not yet done this, please subscribe to the channel. It helps me out big time. You have no idea. I'm creeping up on 300 subscribers. Feels fantastic. Very proud of that. So thank you guys for your support as always. And of course, if you like the video, you can also like the video. You can share the video. And please share your comments and your thoughts about Call of Duty below. I love getting involved in the conversations and seeing you guys do the same thing. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thanks for tuning in, and I will catch you next time.